It's your girl Deja, and the host of Black and Wild, the podcast. I am coming to you with just a little note, a little message, a check in. Felt the need to come in with just a little reminder. I'm still here, and this podcast, this discussion, this channel is still very important to me. But life has been lifing lately. And so, as usual, the opinions and the thoughts represented on this channel in this episode are not reflective of any organization or agency. And I'm just going to go into what's been going on with your girl, what is to come, what to expect, and just keeping it real. Well, as I have mentioned before, quite a bit has happened this year, and from getting married to dealing with life, family, and living in this world as a woman of color and dealing with all that comes with that, right? And the highs and lows of everyday life, of, living in a community or participating in recreational activities where outdoor recreational activities where I don't always feel represented, and just some of the pressures of that, honestly, and how taxing all of that can be, while also doing the work that I do that's, related to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and trying to, make space for other individuals to find their voice, to find their path they're meant to be on, and to also feel included and like they belong, they deserve to be in these spaces. It's been tough. It's been quite a bit with wedding planning, executing that whole week of festivities, and going into a 3-week honeymoon while coming back and before and after that, and in the middle of all the wedding stuff, dealing with the busyness of work. It's a pretty busy season for me. And just keeping it real, being honest, it's been a lot. And as much as I've enjoyed having these conversations with friends and loved ones, I'll be honest, it has been, I didn't realize that it would be as hard as it has been to find guests who actually feel safe, feel in the right space, and feel confident and sure enough to, and some of all of the above, and maybe only parts of it that are relevant to individuals, but to actually follow through with being guests on the podcast. And that's given me much time to reflect and question whether or not I should continue, uh, whether or not I'm the right person to lead these discussions, feeling quite a bit of imposter syndrome, wondering even if I am meant to lead these discussions, and how does that conflict with regular life and what I do for work professionally, as well as personally, and trying to connect with my why of why I even wanted to start having these discussions and why I even wanted to create this podcast through all the imposter syndrome and through all of the wants to want to continue to have these discussions, and how profound these opportunities have been for me, and to imagine how this might have positive effects on other people. So I'm not going away to say all of that. I'm not planning on ending this channel. I've got some things cooking. I just honestly haven't had the energy and the same drive to create, to edit, and then also to not only just execute, but to be able to bring you a finished product that I can be proud of, that is aligned with the themes and the goals of why I created this channel, this podcast. Um, and I want to get back to that. I just really haven't had the capacity with trying to maintain my own mental health, emotional health, physical health, trying to focus on that self love, and also remembering my why. in many ways. And how does that flow into all the aspects of my life and the way that I am showing up every day, but also the different ways that I am, you know, giving energy into different projects or just different activities, etc. People, trying to maintain relationships, not just myself, but with my loved ones, my husband, and it's been it has been a journey. So I say all that to say I've got some more coming. I'm definitely rethinking of ways that I can kind of like revamp some of the discussions I want to have or like the types of discussions. I'm definitely brainstorming on what topics I want to cover, who I want to have on as guests. And at the beginning of this experience, I really want it to be friends, people that I have some kind of chemistry with and we're either acquaintances to actual friends, but also people who have their feet on the ground, whether that's, physically working in the outdoor industry, recreating outdoors in these spaces, and or doing the work around diversity, equity, inclusion, and people who identify as being a part of marginalized communities and voices who I want to uplift, um, and finding my way to feel like ownership over being worthy to share those stories. Um, yeah. So in the next year, I'm hoping to, on this channel, share a little bit more about my story and journey. I thought about how, as after I reflected on this channel, I thought more about how I haven't really done that too much. And that was kind of part of why I wanted to create this was because I also felt like from what I've heard from other people that I don't really hear my story being heard very much, and I've heard that from other friends. But I also know that I'm not unique and not alone in this as well. On top of the friends I've connected with who also have shared similar stories and are like-minded individuals. So I hope that you'll continue to support. And I do want to say that I apologize for uh, just the abrupt and I guess little heads up on the break that I have taken, but I'm planning on coming back and continuing. I haven't gone anywhere. Just definitely trying to make sure I'm bringing worthy content for this cause and this idea that I had when the passion I had, the drive, where that came from when I first even got the full inspiration to really make this reality. So, all that being said, I will also add the email account for the podcast. You can also check out the podcast on Instagram. And please message me if you're interested in being a guest, if you have suggestions on other stories you think I should highlight, maybe suggestions on what else you'd like me to share in relation to the theme of this program. I'd love to hear more. I'm definitely yearning for a little bit more support and some like green flags that are letting me know that this is still the right choice and if this is something I should continue with. So if you stuck around this long with all of my rambling and processing kind of live in the moment, I appreciate you. I appreciate your support and thanks for listening. And hopefully we can connect in some capacity in the near future. Because I'd love to connect with anyone who has felt drawn to the discussions I've had, the topics um, that have taken place, or topics that have been covered, I guess, on this podcast, on this channel. Uh, and just some positive encouragement to keep going would be really nice right now. But also wishing you and myself luck during the rest of this holiday season and the craziness that comes with the end of the year and life in general. I hope you're able to make time for yourself and focus on that self love, focus on trying to figure out that balance of making sure that you're taking care of yourself while also maintaining the other parts of your life. And that being said, thank you. Thanks for listening. Until next time, I'll be back soon. And hopefully we'll have some more monthly content. That's definitely something I think is manageable despite my schedule, but I definitely need to prioritize making time for this and reconnecting with my life. Until next time, see ya.